Welcome back to Orlando Matters. I'm Keith Landry talking about Orange County Commission District 4 to the east side of Orange County. Jennifer Thompson and Mayra Uribe running for that seat. You're in a runoff November 2nd. Look, I'm going to cut right to it. The number one issue is jobs. Everybody wants to know which one of you two women is going to do a better job to create jobs. You start.
Well, like I said, my Orange Initiative, Burnham Institute and the simulation is great. That's 2 to 5 years. And you know what we're not talking about is all the people are going to move here for those jobs. They're not going to come out and put a sign that says we're only hiring locals. So we've got to take care of people here at home. And I got to tell you, quite frankly, Keith, the Burnham Institute, Lake Nona, and East Orange County are not the only part of District 4. You've got South OBT, you've got Conway, you've got Delaney Park, Lake Como. Let's not ignore these folks, Let's help that business owner right now who has a business, who has 9 employees and would love to have 10.
How do you do it?
Let's cut the red tape in Orange County. Let's make it easier to do business. Let's not make it harder for them. If I'm going to give a tax incentive, I'm going to give it to the guy who has a business right here, right now, employing 9 people, not to the Burnham Institute that has millions already coming in, and they're going to bring their own people over here. Although that is great, we got to cultivate it going forward. Let's take care of home. Let's take care of people here. People are hurting right now, not in 2 years, right now.
Jennifer, why should I choose your jobs plan over Mayra's?
Well, I'd say look at track records. I was president of the East Orange County Chamber of Commerce for nearly 4 years as a volunteer. Grew the organization from 200 to over 800 members. Was recognized in 2005 by the Orlando Business Journal as the top businesswoman under the age of 40 for the entire year. I'm a small business owner. I own multiple businesses. I've helped open, whether directly or indirectly, over 100 businesses alone in District 4.
What's your plan for the future?
Plan for the future is to focus on cluster opportunities, to create industry changers. Those industry changers, for example, in 2012 when the VA hospital and when the Nemours Children's Hospital opened. And they're here as a result of a concentrated effort, proactive effort to bring Burnham Institute and the UCF Medical School. Because of that, we've created an anchor. When those open in 2 years, think of all the small businesses that are going to come as a result. Mr. Uribe's right. We've got to cut red tape. We've got to take a look at policies. We've got to put project managers in place to help people understand that we're open for business and we want you to be here. But the businesses that are going to be here as a result are those companies that are going to service those organizations now. You've got medical supply companies, staffing agencies, print shops, coffee shops, retailers, everybody that comes online because we created this cluster. The next cluster is right around the corner.
Quick chance to respond.
Track record is right. I actually put businesses together. I create real jobs. I help corporations come in here, incorporate. That's what I do. I'm a consultant, and they have to hire 7 to 10 employees by regulations of the U.S. government. My service did not start when I decided to run for office, and I only decided 2 years ago, so I haven't been campaigning for 6 years. My service started when I was 7. I was contributing to this community, business, professionally, volunteer-wise, and making it a better place. If we're going to talk track record, let's talk track record. A lifetime of service, commitment to the seniors, to children. This isn't now, new and now. Jobs are huge. Safety's huge. Education's huge. A better quality of life for the next generation.
All right, one more chance to respond. We're going to change the subject. Go ahead.
I would say, I would ask the voters, take a good hard look at track record. Who's done what? Who do we surround ourselves with, and who makes a real difference? I don't have a lifetime of experience, Keith. I'm 35 years old. I was president of my Chamber of Commerce at 26 years old. I just gave a talk this morning to over 60 business owners. We talked about cause marketing. You put it out there because you want to make a difference. You can't expect for it just to come back. You have to put it out there knowing that you're going to make a bigger difference in your community. That's right. I want to be county commissioner because I really believe I can make a difference on changing the future, providing jobs to folks, providing opportunities, and providing a little bit of hope for those small business owners, that we both understand small business, but I want to be that cheerleader, that champion to help us get to where we need to be 20 years down the road. All
right, let's change the topic, talk about developers. Developers have had a huge influence on the Orange County Commission through the years I've been here, 8 years. Every year for 8 years I've been reading about the influence of developers on the Orange County Commission with their money and their ability to get basically whatever they want.
Absolutely.
The last couple of years we saw a little bit of a trend to slow that down a little bit. What will you do as an Orange County Commissioner? Are you going to line up with the developers, or are you going to take a hard stand against urban sprawl?
We're going to make common sense decisions here. I'm not going to line up with anyone. No one owns me. We're going to make choices. They're expected to have another 12% shortfall in property values 2010, 2011. $77 million in a shortfall. Yet Ms. Thompson would have agreed to allow the development to go on in Lake Nona. More houses. That would ruin more of our values of our homes in Avalon Park and Stony Brook. They've lost a lot. Avalon Park has the highest foreclosures. Why would you want more houses and devalue our neighborhoods, our homes that are here now? Absolutely not. I will encourage redevelopment. I will give incentives to companies that'll take land that's already concreted. And before I start, putting more concrete over grass or getting near the econ, we're going to look around and make sure we don't have other spaces that are already developed and need it.
All right, your response.
Absolutely. I was a conditional yes vote on the Innovation Way East development out on the southeast side of the county. Ms. Uribe, in her interview with the Orlando Sentinel, said she was a no vote, but then later on published in the Orlando Sentinel said she was probably a vote in the affirmative.
That's not true.
It's printed.
No, it's not true.
It
All
is
right, well,
printed.
let me have you clarify that, and then we'll get back to the other
Yeah,
issue.
that's not true. And she's a conditional vote. Wayne Rich, the guy who represented the Innovation Way project, has contributed to her. All the developers that are on our finance report, let's call that into question. Let's talk about ethics here. Let's talk about who are you going to sell out? You can say this. What's the conditions? What are the conditions? Are we going to protect our environment? Are we going to make sure the other neighborhoods don't lose values in their homes? I mean, let's have accountability. I'm sorry, Ms. Thompson has a magazine that promotes physicians. Well, of course she has an interest in Medical City. What about the interest in the people?
May I rebut?
Okay, yeah, of course.
Actually, if you want to talk ultimately about smart growth, the large community project that got me very interested in the way that we grow moving forward was a 10-month study that I led called the East Orlando Visioning Study. It was a smart growth project that was later used almost word for word in Mayor Crotty's 2005 State of the County Address published in the Orlando Sentinel. It's calling for the creation of the high-tech corridor from UCF to ICP onto the airport.
Okay.
My publication, Insight Magazine, is a publication that was a direct result of this 10-month study. Every month, we focus on a different topic. We have advertisers that purchase advertising in our magazine. Yes, ma'am, some physicians. But what we talk about each month is something that affects our community, whether it's transportation initiatives, education initiatives, and things like that. What really matters as we grow is how we're going to grow and if we're going to go right. We have to be smart about it. If we want to protect the econ, we need to look at it from a regional perspective in partnership with Osceola County and Seminole as well.
Okay,
and we need
so
to look at rail as an opportunity to change our growth patterns in Central Florida as well.
Let me give you a chance to answer the question again, because I kind of feel like maybe it turned in another direction. The question essentially is, when we have this debate over the influence of developers in the future, where will you line up there?
I think we need tougher ethics standards, period. We need to make sure that we have complete transparency. I'm very active in the social media elements right now because I do that, one, so folks can get to know me, but two, so that there's transparency in that. We have okay ethics recording right now. Like Mr. Uribe says, you have to put all of your finances online. You have to put all of your personal stuff online. You have to also, show everybody that contributes to your campaign. She's absolutely right. Big businesses, small businesses alike have contributed. I have, I think, over 700 people that have contributed to my campaign. I think the average dollar amount's about $160. People want to get behind people that they think are going to be able to make a real difference. The development community is a special interest group, just like any other special interest group out there. You need folks that are level-headed, able to make decisions, and that are able to ask questions. At the end of the day, you're here for the voters.
Okay, we're going to squeeze in a quick commercial break. We'll continue after that. We'll be right back, folks.